Hello everyone and welcome back to another DIY video. Today we're going to be making this cute little fabric pouch, and I'm going to be showing you guys how to make the pouch, and of course you can decorate this however you want. This is just how I decorated mine, and I will be showing you guys how I did that. This is a video on behalf of Wild Orchid Crafts, and I will have all of the links in the description below so that you guys can find the website as well as the products that I have used on this video. So in my last video, I showed you guys how to make these tissue holders, and I want to make a little pouch for this one to go inside. I showed you guys how I decorated this other tissue holder right here. I will have a link on the screen somewhere in case you guys missed it and you want to check out that video. But today we're going to be decorating this plain one. But before I go any further, I wanted to address something. I've got a lot of questions last week on how you would change the refill on this tissue holder. So it's very simple, you guys. You just open the bottom part and you add your tissue in there and you close it back up. As you can see here, I only decorated the top portion of the bottle. You could of course decorate this differently, but the important thing is do not glue the two pieces together, because you need to be able to open this so that you can put your refill in there. So now that that's out of the way, let's take a look at what we're going to be using today to make the little pouch. You will need a piece of fabric, and this can be any fabric of your choice. I'm also going to be using a pencil, scissors, a paper clip. I'm going to be using a glue gun, but if you're making this pouch to hold something heavier, I would recommend that you sew the edges instead of just gluing. I'm also going to be using some satin ribbon. From Wild Orchid Crafts, I'm going to be using these handmade bead flowers, this white lace, and there's another white lace right here, and there's a different design. I'm also going to be using some of these pink rosebuds, and I also have some white rosebuds. So let's get started. First thing I did is I drew out a rough circle just around the bottom of the bottle. I'm drawing this a little bit bigger than the bottle, and when I cut it, I'm actually going to cut it a little bit out of the lines as well. This is just going to allow me room to adhere this to the other piece of fabric. Then I'm going to take my fabric again. I'm going to be leaving about a 1-inch allowance on the bottom of the fabric, and then I'm going to cut it to the size of the bottles. Then I'm going to fold my fabric, and that's just going to make it easier for me to cut that long piece. And make sure your fabric wraps around your bottle, and you don't want it to be too tight around the bottle, so leave approximately 2 inches allowance just for adhering things together. Then I'm going to go on to the edge of the fabric, and I'm going to fold this with my fingers. And I'm going to make little diagonal lines on the corners and also on the center part of this fabric. And you'll see why a little bit later. This is just going to allow our ribbon to go through a little bit easier. In the center part, I left a little bit of fabric so that I can fold over and stop the fabric from fraying. And I'm just going to adhere that little tab down as you see me doing here. Next, I'm going to add glue on the very edge of this fabric. This is where the ribbon is going to go through, so you don't want to have that piece attached. I'm going to go ahead and fold all the edges with a little bit of glue. I'm going to take this piece of fabric and I'm going to fold around about 1/2 inch on each side, and I'm just going to mark that with my fingers. Next, I'm going to take my circle, and with my right side facing up, I'm going to add a little bit of glue, and I'm going to attach one end of my fabric. Just leave that fold free of glue for now. I'll take my other end of the fabric and I'm going to adhere that right next to the first piece of fabric. It sounds a little bit confusing, but hopefully you can see here what I have done. I'm going to find the half point of my circle with my finger and then the half point of the fabric, and then I'm going to match those up with a little bit of glue. Next, I'm going to fold my circle the opposite way to find the half point again, and I'll do the same with my fabric, and I'm going to match those as well. I only have 4 open areas left, and I'm going to add the glue, and then I'm going to gather the fabric, and this is just going to allow me to gather the fabric more evenly all the way around the pouch. You can of course just adhere your fabric all the way around and then trim it later on, but I just find it easier doing it this way. Next, I just adhere the ends together, and then I trimmed the excess fabric. Just take your pouch and turn the fabric like so. Now with my ribbon, I'm going to leave around about 2 inches of ribbon hanging over one side of the pouch, and then I'm going to fold that in half, and then I'm going to cut it. You can make this pouch any size you like, so I just find it easier to measure it this way. Next, I'm going to take my ribbon and I'm going to adhere that to my paper clip, and this is just going to help me thread the ribbon through the hole. So I'll start at one end and I'm going to thread it through all the way when it comes out of the other end. So I'm just going to loop it so that the ribbon meets up on the same side. Then I'm going to get the ribbon together and I'm going to tie it in the knot. And then for my second piece of ribbon, I'm going to start at the opposite ends. I'm going to do the same thing again, and then I'm going to tie it into a knot when it comes out at the other end. You should have something that looks a little bit like this, so knots on both sides. Stretch out the ribbon, get the smooth side from each side, and then you pull it together, and there you go. That is the pouch done. And now for the decorating part. Of course, you can decorate this however you want. I just decided to use some lace for mine, so I adhered some lace all the way around the top. Then I took some of my ribbon and I created some loops, or whatever you want to call this. I just adhered that to the top as well. Then I took a little piece of fabric and I made it into a little square. I just wanted a base for some lace gathering that I did here. It's just like some random things, but I just added a little bit of glue and I just carried on gathering the lace until I had something that I like. Next, I'm going to take my rosebuds, and I have a mixture of pink and white here. I'll twist the wire together and then I'm just going to curl the wire. This is just going to make it easier for me to adhere all of them together onto my project. And I just arranged them how I wanted it, placed my embellishments on top and then my beaded flower. And I'm going to call it done, you guys, because I really like how that looks, and it's simple but pretty and it works for this project. Of course, you can make this pouch for anything you like. You can make it for a gift. You can make it to hold anything else you have at home. I think it's really, really cute. If you're interested in checking out my video from last week, where I showed you guys how I created the tissue holder and also decorated the first one, I will have the link on the screen for you guys right now. I'll have another video for you guys to check out as well. Hope you guys liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to check out the links in the description below. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you guys next time. Bye!